Yeah, Jesse, I want to ask you about the two books you've read on Jose Canseco. I know you have been a Jose Canseco fan, following him in baseball since you were a very little kid. And I think that he was one of your favorite players, and you would always tell me that Jose hit another home run or watch Jose. And I'm going to just let you tell me about what you find so interesting about these two books, about Jose and what he's written, mostly about drugs.
What do I find interesting about the books?
And Jose.
Oh, well, about the books, because, well, first of all, what attracted me to the book was just, obviously, the author, Jose Canseco. It's a book about him telling about his experiences and his, not just his career and his personal life, but about professional baseball as an industry, as a sport, and as a business. What interested me about the book is that it was highly controversial, and whenever something is highly controversial, I'm kind of drawn to it. So, yeah, in that respect, of course, Jose Canseco is very outspoken, and just the fact that he wrote a book interests me. But there are many interesting parts of the book, not just the steroids, but everything he talked about with his personal life, his social life, his friends in baseball, celebrities, his almost relationship with Madonna, and everything that he hoped to achieve by writing the book. It was just very interesting altogether.
What does he do now that I guess he's out of baseball? Is he working? Does he have a bar or a restaurant or something, or is he just sitting around playing golf?
Yeah, I'm really not sure what he's doing exactly, but he's earned a significant amount of money from his book sales. The first book was a New York Times bestseller. The second book, I don't know how well it did, but I think he got a pretty good amount of money for it. He's got many other projects that he does. I'm sure he probably does stuff for charity. He's a very humble guy in that respect, or generous, I should say. Financially, I wouldn't worry about him. Socially, he has a lot of projects. He stays busy, even though the spotlight might not be on him. I haven't read any news. Most recently, I remember he competed in mixed martial arts. He competed in his first professional fight for the Dream Corporation, and that was in Japan. He fought against Hong Man Choi, and unfortunately he lost that fight pretty badly and pretty quickly. So I don't think he'll be going back into martial arts anytime soon. But Jose has always been an entertainer and an interesting person, so who knows what he might do next.
Well, what way would you say that drugs has affected his life? Has it been positive or negative to his life?
Oh, definitely positive. I mean, from the moment he started taking them, and I was reading about all the effects that he felt and the positive reinforcement he had physically and mentally. It gave him an edge. Everything that he's written about the drugs has been from a positive standpoint. He talks about the benefits a lot in his book, and I think it's helped him tremendously. Also, it helped him grow as a person. Intellectually, he studied the subject so thoroughly that his knowledge actually brought attention to himself. People sought him out as kind of like the godfather of this supplement of the drugs, of steroids, and through that he developed a lot of relationships, and he's actually been very outspoken and talked about the positive side of steroids, which a lot of people will ignore or will just simply think is ridiculous, that the drug could have positive effects on people. But yeah, overall I'd say Jose, his life has been increased. The quality of his life has been increased through the anabolics that he took.
Well, I've heard different stories on taking the drug steroids, that it would mess your body up, and in the long run it could eventually kill you. And Lou Alcindor, I guess, with the football player, several football players have had adverse effects on it, and I've heard that it has actually destroyed the lives of many professional athletes. What do you say about that?
Yes, of course. It's highly dangerous. I mean, if you abuse it, it can ruin you totally. You have to be well educated. You have to have experience going in before you start using it. And I just think that people have focused in really hard on the negative side effects, and they think that use is abuse, and that's not necessarily true. And Jose tried to clear that up really well in his book. But yes, I'd say the majority of people who have used steroids have reported all of the negative side effects, more so than the benefits of the positives, and that's unfortunate.
I mean, the people who have used it have reported a negative. In other words, has affected them negatively. They're not saying positive things about it, but you're saying Jose is saying positive things about it. That it's a good thing if you can control it and you understand how to use it. That it can make you stronger, it can make you faster, think better, keep you younger, and eventually make you a superstar, right?
Well, you know, if you're talking about as an athlete, if it'll make you a superstar, you have to, first of all, you have to have talent. If you don't have talent, then forget about it. You're not going to become the next Babe Ruth or Michael Jordan. If you have talent, it's going to give you an edge, and it's going to just make you that much greater. If you use it right, though, I mean, it is a drug, and it's addictive, and it can be abused, and that'll ruin you. But yeah, I'd say that you know, you can definitely it can definitely be used to improve many things, not just physical things. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
The thing I wanted to ask you is, how does someone know when you're reaching the point where you've had so much that it's now detrimental, that it's destroying your body and it's going to hurt you, or when do you know that you've taken enough and there's no more positive effects, so you slack off and not? Who determines that? You know, that's the thing I'm worried about, because we know it does harm. Where does the harm begin? Where does the good effects stop?
Well, it's like anything else that you take, you know, vitamins or even any other type of pills, supplements. If you go too far with it, it can have reverse side effects. You need to balance everything. You know, didn't they say that if you have too much calcium in your diet, if men have too much calcium, then that causes prostate cancer. So with the steroids, it's just you maintain a dosage. You know how much dosage is going to help you and how much is too much, how much will hurt you. And you don't go beyond that. I mean, you can take it consistently to a certain point. Like, you can take it to where you know, hey, my body needs to be free of it for a while. I need to stay off of it for this amount of time, and then I can go back on it. It's called cycles, and that's what you do when you're supplementing and you're taking this kind of stuff. It can be used to help you without having those side effects.
So evidently there's certain people that pretty well understand what's the right amount to take, and they understand about these cycles, when you should go on the cycle to take it, when you should get off, what period in your life should you refrain from it. And Jose considers himself to know enough about it to take it safely, I'd say, right?
Yeah, I mean, he spent a better part of his life studying it to the greatest detail. I mean, he talks a lot about in his book how he pretty much sought out and got his hands on every piece of information he could on steroids, and just researched it till he knew exactly what he wanted and what he needed. He also experimented with it on his own, and he was able to come up with so he says he was able to come up with the right ingredients, the right mixtures that he was looking for, things that would increase his fast muscle twitch fiber and give him better reflexes and better strength, better endurance.
But it still seems to me like you're playing with fire, because with fire it's nice to use it to warm yourself when you're cold or to cook a nice steak. But then on the other hand, if you're not careful, that fire can burn your house down or something else around and cause a lot of damage. So it's kind of one of those things. For some people, they can go too far and it can be destructive, and some people can maintain it, possibly, and they can live a better, more successful life with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't just stop using fire altogether because there's a possibility that it can burn you, or I mean, that would be ridiculous.